Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings with Kirk Cousins leading the way. Cousins surprisingly efficient in his first season as a member of the Vikings. He hit on better than 70% of his passes, second only to Drew Brees, and was actually just the sixth ever NFL quarterback to finish a season above that 70% mark. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Play action now. Cousins. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but now it'll be 3rd down. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
Well, showcase cornerback Kareem Jackson has brought his talents from Houston to Denver, and the Broncos are really excited about using him all over their secondary. Primarily a corner for most of his career, the last couple of seasons he swung back to safety as well, and has done a nice job in both spots.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 73 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So now here are the Broncos for their first drive of the game. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Arkansas Razorback. It's Brandon Allen.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Got it. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, what's the ball? What's the ball? Right. Let's go.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Philip Lindsay. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Well, we talked about Philip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Philip Lindsay. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. On first down, right back to Lindsay. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And how about Philip Lindsay's rookie season? Began the year 3rd on the depth chart. Finished it in the Pro Bowl. Not bad for an unrestricted free agent out of Colorado with speed to burn.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Play action. Now it's Allen. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. On play action, Allen. And his throw here's incomplete. Cortland Sutton is the man he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And here's Allen to throw again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Check right, check right.
Now Allen again. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Second-year punter Colby Wadman out there now for the Broncos. Back deep is a very dangerous Mike Hughes. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Vikings offense coming back out here, and this is a team that bounced back from the loss at Arrowhead to win in Dallas in Week 10 and moved to 7-3 now, Charles, on the season.
It's definitely starting to feel like this team is truly a contender. 5 wins now in their last 6 games, but the way they bounced back after the loss at Kansas City to go to Dallas and win, that really stamps them as a team to reckon with in the future. They still have their open week to come, plus what looms is a big home game against Green Bay in Week 16. But before we get to that, they'll get the Broncos at home next week as they try to move to 8-3.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Let's go, let's bring it.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Check. Check 45 to Mike. It's a party now.
They go play action. Cousins. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos 35.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. On play action, Cousins. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Switch up. 5.
To the air, Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. Hamilton, the 4th-round pick, had a very productive career at Penn State where he was teammates with Saquon Barkley. And the tandem of he and Cortland Sutton brings some solid youth to that Bronco receivers room. And now the 24-year-old Hamilton hoping to build on what was a 30-catch campaign from a season ago as a rookie.
Check 55 to Mike. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get you.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 10.
On the set. Mike 54. Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
They'll try the draw. Lindsey. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. To throw, it's Allen. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This will be from 56 yards out. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Check 43.
On second down, Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Oh, you got deep?
First down, here's the run with Cook. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. And now another one thrown incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Taking it about the 16. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Cousins on first down. That'll be complete to Cook. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
I'm letting you know right now.
To throw, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Wolfe able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that.
Mike, 45. I want that. Give me that.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
I got him.
Throwing, Cousins, and that is incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Ready up. Mike by 4. Mike by 4. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our field.
Allen off the play fake. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Tim Patrick that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here we go. AT Gator. Let's go, let's go. Check 13.
This quick pass complete to Sutton. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player, but he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
I got you.
Now a carry for Lindsey. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Go.
Allen going to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And this is going to be incomplete. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Play action now. Cousins throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
Let's go.
The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Play fake. Cousins going for the deep ball. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 36.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. A give to Cook out of the gun. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mike, 45. Oh, here we go. Oh.
Off the play fake. Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I feel for some of these guys nowadays because it is so tough to be able to run with these tight ends. Their speed, their elusiveness, especially when they run across the field. Because you're not just running with him, you're trying to run through some traffic as well.
Cousins now. Down run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10.
Go, 50, plant. Check, watch 54, watch 54. We don't want this.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. Shoot.
From the 27, Allen. He's got it. The tight end, Jeff Heuerman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now it's Lindsey. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Ready? 55. 3 bud. Mike, 55. Let's go.
From the 39, Allen. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh.
To the air, Allen. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough 1st half, he was locked in, right? And rocking and rolling. They came out and made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? So they take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right, and you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
They're running it.
Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That one into the hands of Hamilton. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Here's Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Allen, he'll get this one to Patrick. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Allen from the gun on third down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point try by Bailey. And it's 21-3. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Mike, 54. Squeeze, double.
Now Allen to try again after the pick six. He'll find Lindsey here. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Allen. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Staying on his feet. He shakes him off. Able to shake him off. He's got this complete to Hamilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. To try again after the sack. Allen, his throw incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Allen going to go on 4th down. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant. Watch the slant, watch the slant.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out and out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
They run it again with Cook. And this Bronco defense really selling out to stop the run, and it pays off. They get him behind the line twice in a row. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Get that ball. Get that ball.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.